Hey guys, RGP here. Today I just thought I would show you on a little project that I've been working on. This is a Dell Optiplex 280. I actually purchased this PC probably about a year ago for like 20 bucks. It didn't work. Basically, the capacitors on the motherboard were completely fried. All around the CPU, they were all bulged and black and all charred and gross looking, but recently I decided to get back into trying to fix this. So I actually ended up finding a whole brand new motherboard with perfect capacitors. There's not a single bad capacitor in there. If I show you like under the CPU, that's usually where they're bursted. None of them are bulging or anything like that. This was like sealed in the plastic. I think I paid like 10 bucks for it with free shipping. It wasn't very expensive. It came in like a big like envelope thing with bubble wrap and stuff. It wasn't like the best packaged, but it still worked. And as long as it worked, that's fine with me. But you'll notice on the motherboard there's 4 2GB sticks of crucial DDR2 RAM. It's clocked at 800 megahertz, but it never actually reaches that. It only really goes up to 533 in this PC because it's so old. It also has a Pentium 4 3.4 gigahertz CPU, and cool enough about this is this motherboard, when I got it in the mail, it actually came with the latest version of the BIOS. I'll show you the motherboard version. It's kind of upside down, but yeah. Yeah, and also the motherboard was actually a different color. Mine, originally, it was a brown motherboard, but when I ordered the new one, this one's actually green. I don't know if it was just because it was so discolored or whatever, but this PC didn't look like it was very well taken care of, which I will show you in a minute. But here are my little additions that I've made to this. This did not have a graphics card in it, so I actually added it was like $1.68 on eBay plus shipping. This is a Radeon HD 2400 XT, although in the AMD drivers it shows up as a 3400. But on the graphics card it says it's a 2400 XT. You'll notice that there's this riser card in here that's like off to the side, and that's actually so that the computer can fit desktop-sized parts in it. And I actually made the mistake of, when I was trying to upgrade this computer, buying a low-profile sound card, so I ended up having to send that back and get a different one. It has like a Sound Blaster Audigy like Z5 or whatever in it. I think it was released in like 2005 or 6. It's pretty old, but the sound on this motherboard kind of sucks. So I have some decent speakers that I'm hooking it up to. But I mainly built this for playing my old games like Turok Evolution, Turok 2, all that stuff. Although I cannot get the sound working right on the Turok games like Turok 1 and 2. I think it has to do with me running Windows XP instead of 2000, because the sound did work originally, but then I was like, hey, well, I'll upgrade to Windows XP, and I actually put my Crucial M300 in here. It's an M-SATA version of it in a hard drive, like a hard drive case thing. This thing actually boots up really fast, which I will show you here in a second. But yeah, it has an IDE disk drive in it, and only one SATA port right there, and that's mainly for my SSD, which actually boots Windows XP pretty fast, especially for this. Technically has 8 gigabytes, but it only sees 3 of it, which is kind of weird because the CPU I have in it is actually 64 gigabyte, but I think it is a I think, a memory controller issue. It's probably just too old. But I'll actually boot this up in the BIOS, and we will check out what's in this. So I have this all hooked up and ready to go. Yeah, as you can see, this computer was not very well taken care of before I got my hands on it, but luckily I've revived it and it's nice and new. Okay, so I am going to boot this guy up now, and we shall see how long it takes. I was going to boot it into the BIOS, but I decided I can just show you all the information on CPU-Z since I have that installed. But yeah, it really doesn't take very long at all. Although this thing can sound like an airplane sometimes. Yeah, see, it like was on the Windows XP screen for like maybe like 3 seconds. Windows XP on an SSD is pretty awesome. And since the Crucial M300 is pretty much it's a newer SSD, it's not really gonna be like needing trim really. I mean, the only thing I really do is install old PC games and play them, so I will not wear this SSD out anytime soon. And I also disabled the Windows page file, so it's not like it's wearing it down. I also am going to be doing a update to my PlayStation 2 here in probably a day or so. It's actually going to be up. I just need to finish recording that video. I've had to re-record the intro to it like 3 times because my camera is being a pain in the ass, and basically it's messing up the like the way the video is oriented. But luckily I have got that situated, and I'm going to basically get that recorded for you guys. Alright, so yeah, it has a Pentium 4, it has the Cedar Mill version of it, so it actually does not get as hot. This thing sounded like an airplane all the time until I put this guy in here. This is probably the best CPU you're going to get in it. And it only uses, I think, 65 watts instead of, and it's also on 65 nanometer instead of 90. But yeah, here, this is the interesting part. Okay, so it says I have 8 gigabytes of RAM, but like in like DXDiag. Hang on, let me get that running real quick. Okay. It'll say, yeah, see, I only have 3 gigabytes of RAM, which is kind of funny. And just for fun, we're going to boot up Turok 2. Now, my music probably doesn't work right. I think it's just the music. It either, what will happen is either the music for the level will start up and it'll play through once and it won't loop, or the music just doesn't start up. It depends on whatever it wants to do. But yeah, we're going to boot up Turok 2 because Turok 2 is pretty awesome, and I probably should turn my volume down. And if my camera dies, I'm going to be very mad, because it's actually kind of low battery, it just warned me. Okay, so we're going to start up the game. But my Windows 10 PC sure as heck can't get this running. It gives me all sorts of errors and stuff. I've tried a Glide emulator, but that still won't work. The game actually shows up all green and messed up. Beautiful. Usually what I'll do when I'm playing this is I'll actually just open up a YouTube video of the Turok soundtrack and just play it in the background while I'm playing this. I don't really mind. It's probably one of my favorite games. Yeah, see, the music's not working. Yeah, sometimes it'll work, sometimes it doesn't. I guess it just depends. I think it's after my computer's been on for a while. I don't know what the quirk is with it, but like the music will play through this, and then sometimes it won't. But we're actually going to skip that because it's just Turok getting shot in the face. And the cool thing about this version of the game is you can actually skip the intro cutscene. But yeah, I'm just going to start up. The multiplayer is shut down because GameSci servers doesn't work anymore, although I think you can do IP to IP still. Yeah, if anyone's interested in playing Turok, like the original Turok, not like the remake, online with me, yeah, hit me up. We'll do some IP games. Just do a quick new game real quick. I'll run around for like 2 seconds because I don't want to make the video too long.
The Port of Adia.
Yeah, see, man, none of my music's working, but we're gonna skip this. Oh yeah, and interestingly enough, on the HD remaster of this, it's kind of weird because like the you can't technically skip the intro cutscene. It's kind of weird because like you can skip it kind of, but it just goes to the next scene, and you have to sit there and press enter like 80,000 times in order to skip it. But it's nice that the original version can at least still skip the cutscene. I have no clue how to fire my weapon with the keyboard, so we're just gonna use the mouse real quick. Yeah, but it runs at 60 FPS, which is great. The HD remaster on this PC runs at like 10 sometimes, maybe. It is really bad. I have no clue what they did with the HD remaster to make it run so much worse on like old PCs. But man, this looks beautiful. The only quirk is, you know, my music doesn't work, which in the HD remaster it does. If any of you guys know how to get like the music working on this game, that would be fantastic. The main suggestion a couple of buddies of mine have told me, online at least, is just play it on Windows 2000 or Windows 98, but I really don't want to have to install Windows 2000 on an SSD. But if that is my only choice, I might resort to that just to get my music working. But yes, this is a beautiful game. It looks great on my old Radeon card. Also, newer cards just do not run this game well at all. I think it's because they just got rid of, like, whatever it is that runs Glide 3DFX games. Because, like, none of the newer cards run, these games particularly well at all. This is probably the best this game's going to run, at least on an older PC. But yeah, on, like, my old gaming PC that I had back in 2012... this game would run, but like it would jump all the way up to like 60 and constantly back down to 30, while this runs at like 60 just fine, perfectly. But we are gonna exit out of this, and I just thought I'd show you guys my cool little old retro gaming PC project. But yeah, if you have anything you want to see on this PC, just let me know. I do have Quake 3, all that stuff, but I'm sure you guys are interested in like watching load times of Quake 3 on an SSD on a PC from 2004. Yeah, that's the end of the video, guys. I just thought I would show off my little Optiplex 280. I might upgrade the disk drive in it, because it sounds terrible. And it rattles, and it makes all sorts of noise. I mean, it plays games, and it works, and my floppy disk drive works too, but my disk drive sounds like it's probably going to die on me. But here, I'll show you my little Turok disk. I have the original PC Big Box. Super cool. Alright, you guys have a good one.